This is the day 5 of the ServiceNow admin training. In this day, we'll talk about that task table, task type. We'll definitely talk about the incident, problem, change, and KB article. We'll not go deep dive, but we'll discuss about that what is incident, problem, and change, because there are already further deep dive video is there in my channel. You can just check the video description and you will get that playlist link. Then we'll talk about approvals, assignment rules, SLA, and attachment. So these are the topic we are going to discuss in our today's sessions. So let's go to the next slide. So first we have to understand that what is the task management or what is task. So task is a table that name, the backend name is a task.list. We can use the task.list or the backend name is the task. This table is our base table. Okay, so what is base table? So any table which can be extend or which is already extend, that we call the base table. So this is the task table which is our base table, and this task table have extended by incident, problem, change request, or there are many other tables are actually extended to this task table. So task table is a base table, and these all incident, problem, change request, these are the extended table. So understand the task is a parent table, or you can say the base table. This table is extended by incident, problem, change. So whenever we extending particular table, let's say that I'm extending to the task table, whatever fields, whatever script, whatever things are present to the task table, all will be automatically comes to this a child table called incident, problem, change request. So if there is any field present to the task table, any script which is present to the task table, any ACL which is present to the task table will automatically inherit to the incident, problem, change, or any other child table which is getting extended. If you see this documentation, it is saying that instead of creating a new table, consider extending an existing one. So instead of creating a new table, we can extend to existing table if existing table contains field, attribute, script similar to those table you needed. So if instead of creating a new table, we can extend to particular table if we need, or if we think that whatever fields is present to this base table, whatever script is present to the base table, or whatever attribute is present to the base table that is useful in our new table, then we can extend that. So let's go back to our system and see what is task table and how it is getting extended. So this is my ServiceNow instance, and in this ServiceNow instance, as I mentioned, that you can directly put any table name, then put dot, so and then type list. So if you put this task dot list, you will be actually go to the task table. Now here you can see there are various kind of number is there, like A, V, L, U, different things, right? So if I combine or group by with the task type, you will be able to find out the various type of task type is present. So you can see we have a change task, we have incident, problem task, requested item. So these all are the child table from the task table. So task table is a parent table, and these all are the child table. You can say these are all are the child table. Now what will be happen if any record created to the child table, let's say that I'm going to create an incident on the incident table, it will automatically show to the parent table. Now you can see all the incident are showing to the parent table called the task table. So whatever fields present to this the task table, for example priority, state, assigned to, short description, when the incident table got created by system, automatically inherit or automatically created this field. For example, if I open this particular incident, let's say I'm opening this incident, so these are the fields present to the incident table. Now for example, if I show right click and show these fields, I will be able to find out that the short description field is coming from the task table, because incident table parent table is the task table. Now go back to here. So I am right now in admin profile. If I go back and type the table module I have shown you in last video. So if I go back to this tables module, this is our tables module, and here we have a field. These are the tables. We already discussed the 5160 is the table, and here extended place, if we type the task, so you will be find out that all the table which is extended from the task table. So you can see 46 46 table is extended from the task table. Now here if I search with the incident, you can see incident task, two tables are extended from this task table. Similarly, if we go back to the change here, and then you can see the change request, change task, change phase, all are extended from the task table. So basically, whatever field present to the task automatically copied over those extended table, which is nothing but this 46 table. So all these fields present to this task table will automatically created. And for example, you can see this short description, they are actually present to the incident table, but they are originated from the task table. You can see the table name and table is showing the task. So now for example, if I go back to this resolution information, and then here if I right click on the resolution code and show that close code, you can see this table name is incident. It means that this resolution code is created specifically on the incident table, but description, short description, assigned to priority, these all are coming from the task table. We'll actually create our own table in our upcoming video, but at that moment I'm just giving you the example. So this is how the extended things happens, and as you know that incident table is a extended from the task table. So why we pick that incident problem and change management? Because in ServiceNow, the incident problem and change management is the basic steps, or when you started your career, we always start with the incident problem change. So let's understand that what is incident, what is problem, and what is change. So incident, what is incident? An incident is an unplanned interruption or reduction in the quality of services. For example, something is broken or not working as expected. Let's say that what is incident? So let's somebody ask you what is incident. So any unplanned interruption happened. For example, you are working a laptop and sometime your mouse is not working. That's an incident, right? So you are doing some job or which is not planned. Suddenly something is broken. Okay, so which is not planned. So planned is something different, but this is suddenly happens, unplanned, right? So that's we call the incident. Now go back to the service now and see how we can create the incident. As we know that incident can be created in a various way. First options is that if we go back here under the self-service option, we have a incident module. We click that and here we can create our own incident, right? So you can click the new button and fill all the information as a self-service options, and we can just submit that an incident will be automatically created. So this is the one option of the creating the incident. Next option is that we have the service portal. Under the service portal, we can directly go to this service portal and create the incident. For example, we can go this SP here, and then from here we can create the incident called request something, and then here create an incident, and we can create the incident. So this is for the end user, right? So this is for the end user. Now we can go back to here in our actual native UI and go to the service catalog. Under the service catalog, we can search also the create incident here directly. Let's say that we can search that create incident. From here also we can create the incident. So various options we have to create a incident. We can click here and then we can create the incident. So we have various options to create the specific incident. Depending on what type of user you are, we can create the incident. So if you want to know that the end-to-end process of the incident, you can go and check my one of the another playlist called ITSM playlist. There you can find out that end-to-end process of the incident. So this is how we normally, if we put all this information, let's say I'm putting this one and submit that, it will basically create a incident for me. You can see this is converted to a incident, and this is the incident details, right? Now let's go back to that. Let's understand that what is the problem. The next thing is that problem. What is problem? Let's say that one server got outage and then you created a incident for that. So let's say that one server got crashed and then for that you created one incident, right? So you created one incident for that. Let's say that once it is crashed, then 100 user or 1000 user are already reported, right, one by one, because they are not able to use that server, right? So everyone is reporting one by one, right? In that case, this incident will be, all the incident will be converted to a problem. So this is not your single issue, this is a many percents, or this is a continuous issue is happening, so that's we call the problem. So let's understand the definition. Problem management helps to identify the cause of an error in the IT infrastructure reported as occurrence of related incident, often affecting a number of users. So many users are affected, not one user. Let's say that your mouse is not working, that's a incident. So that's a incident, right? But your server is got crashed and many user got affected, like 100,000 user, that we call the problem. And once the problem created, in that case, we can find out the root cause, like maybe the disk was oversized and that's the reason the incident got created. That's the reason the server got crashed. So we can say that that's the reason we need to increase the disk size, and then all the user will be able to use that. So this we call the problem. So let's go back to the service now and see how the problem can be created. Creation of the problem will not be accessed for all the users. For specific user, the problem creation module will be available. To create the problem, you can just search that problem, and here you will be able to find out that module called problem, and under that we have a create new. If you click that, it will go to this creation of new problem, and here you can put all the information, like all this relevant information, and then you can submit that. So as we know that when that multiple incident occurs, right? When the multiple incident happens, then the problem created. So you think that multiple incident is getting created for a for particular issue, and then you can create the problem directly, like putting all this information, let's say, and then submit that problem. Once we created the problem will be in new state, and after that it will move to the access, root cause analysis, fix in progress, resolve, and then after that finally it will be go to close state. If you see the bottom under the problem, we have a incident, because we know that a multiple user got affected, not only the single user, n number of user affected, right? In that case, n number of user will call to the service desk, and then they will create the incident. So we can map all this incident directly here, like this problem is associated with this many incident, like this problem contains 10 incident or 20 incident, 20 incident happen, and then we think that this is a problem. This is the another way. Also, you can directly create the problem from the incident. For example, if I go back to the incident module, and this incident I have created right now, right, from that self-service module. So let's say that user think that there are many issue or many uh, user got affected. So directly from the incident, we have the options called create a problem button. Once we click that, the problem will be created from directly from this incident, and you can see this problem, the incident short description and description automatically copied. And if we save that, let's say I'm saving that problem. Once it is moved to the problem, I mean once the problem is saved, so this is the problem, and if I scroll down, you can see this, the incident that from we created will automatically showing here. So this is we call the related list, right? So from this incident we have created this problem. So either directly you can create the problem and map one by one, or else you can directly convert incident to a problem, and then you can map whatever things we needed. And then problem have a different kind of flow. So it goes to new access, root cause, fix, and resolve state, right? And once this problem will be automatically resolved, automatically this I mean by step resolve, the incident will be automatically resolved. So these flow also detailed flow also created in my playlist called ITSM Basic Service. Now you can check that. So this is how we call the problem. Next we have the change management. Let's go back to the documentation. So what is change management? For example, I am giving you a common example. So in my IT industry, I have a router, right? So I have this router. So this router cannot be directly changed, right? So this router can be changed in various ways. For example, that one incident got created, like instead of one, we can say that 100 incident got created because this router is not working, and then many users are affected. And from this incident, it create a problem, right? So it is created a problem, right? And then once we find out that what is the root cause of this problem, we find out that this is the router which is causing the issue, right? Then we need to be replace this router, but we cannot change this router immediately. For that, in IT, we need to create a change request, and change will go for a various approval, and then we can only change this router. We directly cannot change this router. If you need to do immediately, we can raise the emergency change, but to changing anything into the IT, let's say that you need to change or you need to install any software, not only the physical, you need to install any software, or maybe you need to replace your mouse. All the cases in the IT, we need the change request. So let's understand that definition. The ServiceNow change management application provide a systematic approach to control the life cycle of all changes. All changes means any changes in the IT. So let's say that you are changing a software, you are updating a software, you are installing a router, or maybe if you are changing a router, every cases we need a change request. For example, we are upgrading our environment, ServiceNow environment, from one version to the another version. Also, we need the change request. Facilitating beneficial changes to be made with minimum disruption to the IT service. So we don't want to any disruption. We want to do the minimum disruption to help our employee, or to help our or improve our IT facility. We can raise the change request. So let's go back to the service now and see how the change management can be raised. As I give you an example, let's say that for multiple incident we created a problem. After that, we need to be change a router. To resolve this problem, we can directly right click on this problem, and then we can click this any of this type of change, and it will automatically create a change. So if you want to create emergency change, if you want to replace router immediately, you can raise emergency change, and this system will automatically generate a emergency change for you. So from incident we can create the problem, from problem we can create the change. Vice versa, from incident we can directly create the change. That's not a problem. So we can directly create a from incident we can directly create a change, or maybe we can separately create a change depending on what we needed. So this is the one way we can create the change. Another way that you can directly type the change here, and you have the options called create new. You click that, you go to this change management and fill all the information, and from there you have to select that which type of change you want to create. Let's say that I want to create the normal change. You fill all the information, and then the change have a various phases, like from new to access, authorize, schedule, implementation, review, and then finally it will be closed. So anything you want to implement, either in a physically or maybe programmatically, like say that you want to upgrade any software, update any software, you need always a change request in IT industry. Let's say that one database is going to be updated. As a CI, we need to select this database. So let's say that database one is going to be updated. We need to select that database. We need to be put the short description that we need to update this database, and then all this description. After that, the change team will be a specific change approval team, cab, we say the cab approval team will approve that, and then after that you can update that. Without that change approval, you should not, in IT, you should not directly go and update any of this particular software as a developer. So let's say that we do the daily, as a developer, we do the daily job, right? So let's say that we work for the 2 week sprint. So every sprint which is going to the production, we need the change request. So let's go back to this our PPT. Next, we have a KV article. What is the KV article? Basically for user information. So let's say that the 100 user in a different time, they are not able to log in particular instance, right? For that, what we suggest that clear their cache from the browser and then try to re-log in, right? So this is a similar kind of issue happen, and help desk or the user every time give the similar information, right? You need to go to this cache and then clear that. So instead of creating incident or all these stuffs, the user can directly search that particular things called knowledge article. They understand that what steps they have to be performed. They do that steps, and their issue automatically resolved. That we call a knowledge article. So let's understand this definition. The ServiceNow knowledge management application enables the sharing of information in knowledge bases. The knowledge base contains articles that provide user with information such as self-help, troubleshooting, and then task resolution. So as I mentioned, any troubleshooting, any help, or any resolution that the frequently we know that this has to be, for this reason this has to be done, right? for this laptop is not working or this login is not happening, we need to clear the cache. So this is, we know for this issue, this is the solution, right? So for that, we created a knowledge article, and that knowledge article can help the end user or any kind of user to go through the steps and then perform certain actions, and then their self-help, like they automatically resolve their issues. Let's go back to the service now and see how the user can search the knowledge article. If you go to this left navigation and type the knowledge, so you will be able to see the knowledge module under self-service. If you click there, you will go to this knowledge article. Different kind of knowledge base is there. Let's say that for IT, for other stuff, so you are IT user, you click that IT, and then for different issue like your email is not working, so you can click that, right? And then create an email signature. You don't know how to create an email signature, you go to the service and create the incident, right? Instead of that, you can go to this knowledge article and go through these steps one by one, perform this action, and your issue might be automatically resolved. So this way you can use the knowledge article to self-help yourself and then resolve the issue. Or maybe for troubleshooting, you can use the knowledge article. For knowledge article also, I have a separate deep video for developer or admin. If you want to know that how this knowledge article works or how this knowledge article creation happens, you can go and check that. So far we completed this task table, task type, incident, problem, change. Now we'll talk about that approval. So what is approval? Approvals is like, let's say, for example, I'll give you some example. Let's say that you request a laptop, right? Once you requested the laptop, the approvals will go to your manager, right? Manager will decide that you actually need the laptop or not. So if the manager say no, this person does not need any laptop, so they will reject that and then process will be ended. But let's say that manager will approve and say yes, this person need the laptop, it will go to the next process and fulfiller or the vendor will provide you the laptop. So this is the one process. So this way manager can do a approve. So this is we call approval. Next, we assume that you created a change request to upgrade a particular server called S1. So this is the server. Once you raise the request, change request, it will go to this approval for particular groups G1. So this is the group approval. And then once, let's say this group have a 10 member, it will automatically generate 10 approvals for that. Okay. If anybody approve that, it will go to this next step and the change will be moved to the implementation state. So approvals can be happen two way. One is the group approval, another is the user approval. User approval is a particular user who has to be approved. Group approvals will generate all the user approvals. Like if the group member have 10 member, so it will generate 10 approvals, and if anybody approve that, it will go to the next steps. Approval does not need for particular physical thing. Let's say that you need to be install a software. You cannot install the software in your system because it needs the admin password. So what you will do, you will go to the portal, particular company portal, and raise the request. Once you raise the request, for example, Photoshop, your manager will get a notify, yes, this person need raise the change request or a portal request to install this Photoshop approval. So your manager approved that and system will automatically install that laptop called Photoshop laptop in your system. So this way we can approve. Now let's assume that you raise the request and your manager goes to the vacation. What will be happen? The manager is not present. So what will be happen? Are you waiting for 10 days? No. Manager can define a delegate, like there is option called delegate options. Manager can define the delegate and delegate will get all the notification, all the approvals, everything, all the emails, manager will get that. Manager mail will get that, the delegate person. And delegate person can decide this person has to be give approvals yes or no. The delegate will decide and based on that you will get that thing. So we can define the delegate, based on the delegate you can get that. Similar actions can be done for group approval. For let's say that this 10 user, one user goes go to the vacation. So on behalf of that user, it will go to the delegate person and the delegate person can take the action. Let's go back to the ServiceNow and understand how approvals work. So this is our ServiceNow environment. If I go back and type that my approvals, you will get a module called my approvals under self-service. If you click that, at that moment, I don't have any approvals pending. That's the reason it is completely blank. But as I am the admin, I can see any record and I can modify that. So if I click all at that moment, you will be able to find out three stages. One is the approve, another is the requested, and then third is the no longer required. For example, I am opening this change. If you see here, we have a state, approver, comments, and approval for. It means that, for example, if you pick this row, what does it mean by that? This user needs to be approved for this change and the state is requested. So let's pick this one. So this user already approved for this change request. Okay, so let's open this change. I'm opening this change, and if you see this change, at that moment change is authorized section. It means that somebody has to be authorized. And then here they, if you see the change short description, a failed rate control card needs to be replaced. As I mentioned, that any kind of change replacement, any kind of new things installation, we need a change request, and somebody raise a change request to replace a rate card for this particular server maybe, right? And then once somebody raise that, it will go for a change approval. And you can see we have the bottom, we have a approval section. Under this change we have a approval section. Here somebody can approve that. Okay, so if you see that assignment group, we have a two type of groups. If I show match the database, you can see no longer required and one is approved. It means that there is a one first level approval happens, and then it goes to three user, and then this user approve this request on behalf of this database groups, and this user approve that, and other user does not need any approval. So if I open this database groups, and you can see this group have a 3 member, and that's the reason this 3 member get a approvals, and once one person approve that, other person does not need to be approved. So generally in a group approval, one person approve, we don't need any other person approval. Now if I go back and then CAB means change advisory board. They are responsible to check any conflicts, anything is going to be happen to your system. So for this group, these are the member are present, 5 member. So if any member approve that, this change will move to the schedule state. But before that, these 5 members, any of these member needs to be approved that. And that's the reason this state is in request. Let's say that I am opening this record because I am the admin. I can approve on behalf of this user. But for normal user, they can only approve or reject. They can take the action on their approvals. So I am the admin. Let's say that going to approve that. Once I approve that, this change will move from authorized to schedule. Let's approve that. So I am going to approve this change request. So I approve this change request, and if I scroll down, right now these all are requested, and if we refresh that, you can see this user approve and no other user need any additional approval. And once one person approve that, other member does not need any approval. And if I scroll up, you can see change state updated to the schedule, and if I refresh that, this change will be moved from authorized to the schedule section. So this way we can do approvals things. So that's it for today. In our next session, we'll talk about the SLA, assignment rule, and these many more other things regarding the task management. So thank you very much. Have a great day.